and welcome to the Laws of Enchantress. So, welcome back, welcome back. I think this is my third video so far. So, this page is a very special page for Black women, and it's a page of choices. It means once you're taking on the role of the Enchantress, you're choosing to come someplace where nobody has been, where not a lot of Black women have been, I should say, not a lot of Black women, because this is something that's kept away from us. This is something that is unfortunately, it's not as attractive as drama. It's not as attractive as, being forceful, being an alpha woman. But the thing is that, since I've been doing this for myself, since I've been doing it for years and using this as my foundation for happiness, success, health, losing weight, um, having my businesses now, I'm very happy in my personal and professional life, very happy. And I looked around myself and I said, why aren't more Black women happy? Well, I want to share with you something that I believe is the main cause. Not just Black women, every woman, but my concern, of course, is us, the sisters, because I think out of every other woman on this planet, we have the most challenges because of this. And this is the truth. Women need to be worshiped. Women must be worshiped. Why should you be worshiped? Why should the Black woman be worshiped? So, first of all, you have to understand what it is when I talk about sacred feminine energy. So, we're all born with it. We are all born with that feminine sensual allure. We're born with that immense feminine sexual power. And I'm not talking about the mechanics of sex. I'm talking about the power to attract, the power to bring peace and love, the power to elevate others, the power to continuously be successful, be happy, be healthy. We are just huge vibration temples of that success within us. But, society doesn't encourage femininity. And especially in the Black culture, the modern day Black culture, where there's so much stress on the Black woman from working, so hard, from carrying the head of the household, from being the mommy and the daddy. Those sensitive energies get warped, they get diminished, they get crushed. And when that happens, you're trying to build a successful life. Whether it's you want love, you want marriage, you want wealth, you want success, it doesn't matter what it is, but you're trying to build it upon a broken temple. And that broken temple is you. That's why I made this Law of Enchantress program. I didn't want to make it because I thought I would get laughed at, because in the Black community, even with Black women, I don't hear people talk about the law of attraction. It gets laughed at. I don't hear too many people talk about the central sacred feminine energy that's inside of you. And I just don't hear it. I really don't hear it. I don't hear much about us being loved, adored, and worshiped. And if I do hear one day that we're sacred, the next day I hear that we're evil. One day I hear that we're so attacked and we're so, neglected and we're so disproportionately unloved. Then the next day I hear that we're bad. So you are listening to the Law of Enchantress. That's me. And I made this program. It's coming out in 2 weeks. And the reason I made this program is because I want you to be successful. And that success starts with you. It doesn't start with anything else. It starts with healing the broken foundation inside of you. It starts with healing the broken person inside of you. And it means getting that engine going. You have powerful, immense, sacred feminine energy inside of you. And that's why I have all these tabs open. There's men. This is the scary part. There are men who know this. And there is a secret society of men who actually encourage worshiping your wife and worshiping your girlfriend. And you know why? Because these men have discovered that when you worship the woman, that when you love the woman, when you adore the woman, when you give everything, she gives you back 10 times. And that's why you see so many successful billionaires are married for the entire duration, meaning that they die. They don't get divorced. They die. They get married and they're together for 40, 50 years, just like Warren Buffett, just like Steve Jobs. If you look at these big moguls, I'm talking about the top 10 richest people, most of them have these long marriages, like Jeff Bezos, who's the richest person in the world. He's been married for a long time. Mark Zuckerberg married his longtime college girlfriend. It's not a coincidence that the richest of the richest of the rich, the creme de la creme of society, have these long, flourishing marriages. And a lot of these men actually adore the women that they're with. And some of us will look at it and be like, well, some people get lucky, some people don't. No, a lot of people are doing things behind the scenes and they're not sharing it with us. And they're definitely not sharing it with you, my black enchantress, my black enchanters, my black queens. They're not sharing it with you. When I was talking to you in the other talk, in the video, the myth of the glow up. I don't know if you guys saw that one, but if you didn't see it, you definitely need to see it. I only got 3 videos. It's not hard to find. And Patty Sanger is the world's top matchmaker in the planet. She is a third generation, over 18 years of experience. Okay, so if you're like, what is Connie talking about? Patty Sanger is better than any person you'll ever meet in your entire life. She deals with only high end Fortune 500 athletes, professionals, Wall Street, bankers, hedge funds, CEOs, entrepreneurs. She deals with people that are paying her 15,000, 10,000, $1,000 for a half an hour on the phone. And you know what she said? She talked about feminine energy to white women. She talked about not carrying masculine, aggressive energy to white women. She's talking about meditating to cleanse your aura and get rid of negative programming and negative looping. Now, if I say something like this, I get challenged. When I say something like this, oh, Connie doesn't know what she's talking about. Wah, wah, wah. But guys, you should know me by now. I'm about the receipts. I want black women to have the love of their life. I want black women to have the wealth of their life. I want black women to have the health of their life. I want black women to be happy. You don't have to settle. You don't have to play games. You are the most powerful feminine source of feminine, sacred, sexual, central energy on this planet. Why do you think people want to look like you? They want full, sensual lips like you. Why do you think they want hips like you? They're getting surgery to get full, round, beautiful hips. Why do you think they want a bottom like you? They're getting surgery to have full, round bottoms. Why do you think you want to have complexion like you? These women don't want to be pale. They want to have nice, deep brown, sun-kissed mahogany skin. These are all attributes the black woman commands. You are greatness. You are powerful, and you have the most powerful energy lying inside of your womb, inside of your sacred temple. You're built to carry life. You have the nutrients to carry life. But with that power comes great responsibility. With that power means you have to be nurtured. You have to be adored. You have to be loved. You have to be cared for. You have to be fed. And what does that mean? Fed love, fed desire, fed being coveted because you need it, because that's what you give back to the world and you give it back 10 times. So it's like you're asking your body to run a marathon, but you refuse to fuel the body, take care of the body. You have to listen to this. I didn't want to do this, believe it or not, because I know this gets rejected by a lot of black women. They don't believe in it. But it's so funny when I seen Patty Sanger. She is the star and the producer of The Millionaire Matchmaker. She matches people for a living. She's a third generation matchmaker. When you finish watching this video, you can actually go on YouTube and take a look at her. Take a look at her rules. See what she says. She's very into masculine and feminine energy. She even says that's why the dating game is screwed. Because somewhere along the line, someone told women that being feminine, being a woman, embracing femininity is inferior. That if you want to be equal, you got to be a man. And a lot of times you have a lot of women who are just like they're men on the inside. They're aggressive, they're angry, they're negative, they're dark. They're almost like an alpha male female. And then they wonder why they can't get the yin to the yang. They wonder why they can't get the balance. You got to make balance to have balance, sweetheart. You can't get balance out of the two of the same. You get a balance out of a yin and a yang. You get a balance of a male and a female. But a lot of women don't want to hear this. This doesn't go well with the feminists. But what's so funny is the feminists are telling you, hey, do this, hey, do that. They're telling you to be extra tough. But when time comes for them to get their love going, they tone it down. They become traditional. They want that leader. They want that protector. They want that provider. So I saw this and said, I got to do this for Black women. I got to make the laws of the Enchantress. I got to show Black women they can heal. They can love themselves through meditation, through the power of crystals, which have been scientifically proven to have healing properties. I got to show Black women how they can get up every single morning and be the happiest person they can be and take control of that. Take control of what you can control. Take control. And you got to make a choice. Either you want the love of your life, either you want the marriage of your life, either you want the money, the wealth, the health, either you want those things or you don't. You got to make a choice. And like I said, it's not going to be drama. It's not going to be world star hip hop. It's not going to be arguing and throwing blame. It's not going to be talking about the negative things that we love talking about, that we're addicted to talking about. It's not going to be that. But guess what? You're going to find the happiness you deserve. You're going to heal. You're going to mend your foundation with love and light. You're going to mend your womb, your sacred temple, with love and light. You're going to get up every single morning and you're not going to have to guess what kind of day you're going to have because you know you're going to have a good day because you're going to be fully in control. It's going to be all about you. So, what am I looking at here? It says Michael Ellsberg, and he talks about wife worship. All right. He talks about, um, you know, what is wife worship? And the thing is that you choose her, you choose a woman. You could have been a guy, you didn't choose a guy, you choose a woman. But it's talking about the over masculinity of the culture. That's the engine of the negative culture. But the thing is that what happens when you love a woman? What happens when you adore a woman? What happens when you use your masculinity in the way it's supposed to be meant, to be the supporting half of the woman, to enhance her womanhood? Because nothing makes you feel more feminine than a man. And nothing makes a man feel more masculine than a woman. It's a perfect balance. It's a perfect thing. And there's something that happened along the line. The over masculinity, the over hype of men, the oppression of women. And look at the world. Look at the world today. The world is not, you know, the world's not balanced. So a woman has these body waves of energy going through her. She has surface waves where the slightest touch of her skin is like a wave of energy. And of course, she has love waves. And the conception of worshiping the feminine is to realize that their understanding of those energetic movements through the body is just to speak compared to the woman's understanding. So men have a hard time, the typical guy saying they can't understand women. Women are hard. It's because we're not meant to be understood. We're meant to be felt. I'm going to say it again. Women are not meant to be understood. We're meant to be felt. We're powerful, emotional beings. And a lot of us think emotions and vulnerability are weak. So what do? We suppress. And that's the first part of you crushing your temple. A lot of us think that expression are, saying what we feel, saying how we feel. We think it's weak. So then we go and we crush it, we suppress it. And that's the first leg of you destroying your own sacred feminine power. I'm telling you, you have to read the article. And these are men who are talking about bliss. These are men saying their relationships are so good, they don't want to tell anyone. Their marriages are so lit, they're scared that people might think they're weird, because they believe to be fully devoted to that woman's happiness. But what these men get back has blown them away. They're addicted to these women. They can't get enough of these women. They love to give her more and more because what she gets in return is just a beautiful thing. They can barely put it into articulation. They can barely put it into words. They can barely put it into statements because that's how powerful a woman becomes when she's loved right. And you have a right to get that love. But the thing is that how do you get that? It starts with you. If you've been hurt, if you have trauma, if you have pain, if you've been depressed, if you have anxiety, if you got fears, if you don't have enough of self-love, if you don't love yourself 100%, you're not going to get it. No matter what you do on the outside. I know women that are drop dead gorgeous. Size 2, size 6, size 10, perfect figure, perfect bust, perfect butt, perfect hair, natural hair, weave. You name it, they say it. And these women still get treated very badly in their relationships, in their marriage, in their boyfriend. Some of them are even on TV. Some of them are even famous. And they get treated so bad. And you're like, yo, is she stupid? No, she's not stupid. She's not healed. She's not stupid. She's not healed. And then you keep on taking more damage and more damage, or you just let it fester. You just cut yourself off completely. I'm not going to let anybody hurt me again. I'm not going to let anybody come next to me again. But in that time, are you trying to heal yourself at the very least? No, you're festering. It's like having a terrible wound. A terrible wound. Okay? And not taking any alcohol, peroxide. You don't clean it. You don't dress it. You don't attend to it. You just let it fester. That's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. And it's destroying your beautiful, sacred, feminine energy. And like I said, you can't have both. This is your life, not mine. It's up to you. Do you want to be happy? Do you want to practice daily meditation? Do you want to practice happy energy, happy vibrations, happy waves? Do you want to have the man of your dreams? Do you want to have a man who worships you, who adores you, who's addicted to making you happy? Because what you give back to him is 10 times fold. Do you want to attract that type of man? Do you want to attract that type of love? Do you want to attract that type of marriage? Do you want to have that yin to your yang? Do you want that balance? Do you want success? Do you want to be able to walk into a room and command leadership? Do you want to be able to walk into a room and when you speak, people want to hear you speak because you're engaging? You got passion and conviction and sincerity in your voice. Do you want people to network with you for your business to grow because you have energy? You got good energy. You got good energy. What is it that you want? What is it? You have to decide. You have to make the choice. You create your reality. If you don't accept that, stop this video, delete my channel off your list, get off my page, because guess what? Until you give yourself that power, until you give yourself that accountability, you're not going to go too far. So let's look at the other ones. I got some tabs open here, right? What's Connie doing? Let's see. You know I like to bring my receipts. You know I'm crazy like that. So loving field, creating loving relationships that empower women. All right. So this is called female-led relationships. And it's talking about 7 ways to worship the women you love. Guys, these are men that are interested in worshiping women. Do you understand why feminists are so fierce? They don't want y'all to know about this peaceful that's going on. Have you ever heard of this? Have you ever seen this? I tell you guys, I bring you the receipt. It talks about men and female relationships enjoy showing appreciation for the women in their lives in the way that is more emotionally involved than the average man. We call this type of appreciation worship because it demonstrates a man's willing devotion to the happiness and satisfaction of the woman he loves. So these are men sites. These are not women. These are men sharing with other men how to worship the woman. And do you know why they're talking about this? Because they cannot believe what they've gotten back when you worship the sacred feminine core. But how do you get there? That's why I'm making the laws of enchantment. It's by vibration. It's by healing. It's by doing meditation yoga. It's by doing affirmations, subliminal affirmations. This is real. I didn't make these sites. These sites have been existing. They're talking about how to love her, how to make love to her, how to pamper her, how to shop for her, okay? Exceed her expectations. Guys, there's men out there that are onto the vibration. There are men out there who are aligned. There are men out there who are eager to love you. But if you are vibrating, if you're broken, if your temple is shattered and closed, if your temple has been destroyed, and I get it, we're not blaming you. Look at life. Life is crazy. Life is crazy. Life is crazy. We're not blaming you. But when if you're here and this message resonates with you, if you're here, and you're listening to this and you're like, why am I here? How did I get here? You really have to open up your mind. Nothing happens. Nothing happens without you knowing, either on a conscious level or a subconscious level. There are no coincidences. If you made it to this video, it's a call for your inner goddess to return to the sacred feminine. It's a call because your body wants to heal. It's a call because you were probably on a never ending high of sadness, destruction, unhappiness, and now we're being called. We're all being called into the sacred feminine essence. And it's a source of connection to love, creation, the embodiment of deeply held connection to nature, to earth. We are a force of love and unity that flows within our collective individual psyche, regardless of our age. We are power. We are power. But the light inside of us and the force of our feminine, sacred feminine energy has been suppressed into silence, suppressed by pain, suppressed by darkness, resulting in disconnection. So that's why I made this page. Because once you connect that, you see these type of men, these men are willing to love, willing to cherish cook for her. Look at that. Listen to how she feels. You can worship a woman without saying a word when you take the time to listen to how she feels each day. Listen to her, really hear her out. This means to never disregard the things she takes the time to share with you. These are men. These are men. Massage her body. You know, these are men. And you got to see the comments from these other men. You guys are being cut off. There's a secret society of men loving and cherishing women. And the terrifying thing is the black woman is the original goddess. You know it and I know it. The black woman is the original central being on this planet. You know it and I know it. And the reason why we suffer so much is because we have so much power and energy and we're not getting what we need. We're dying inside. And that's why we suffer so much, because we have the least in terms of reception with love and happiness. We have the least in terms of understanding the spirituality and the chakras and the meditation. We have the least in understanding the power of light and sun and moon and moonlight and using nature to heal our body and to heal the broken wombs. We don't understand it. So they have another side, worshiping your wife. Worshiping your wife. For those who think this is crap, worshiping your wife. It talks about love. It talks about worshiping. It's crazy. It's just worshiping your wife. You have to see this, okay? And it's about turning your marriage into a passionate courtship. And that's what I'm saying. You have to be given to. You have to be adored. You have to be loved. And it's hard because you got friends and family who don't love you. Some of you don't know how to be adored. Some of you don't know how to heal. Some of you don't even know what it feels like to be loved by family. Forget a guy. Some of you don't know what it feels like to be loved and appreciated in your career, in your work. It's completely like foreign to you. It's like obsolete. So we're going to look at this right now. And this one talks about something serious. So 7 wonders of the womb, discovering the powers of the uterus. So it says right here that, women's body holds within them an incredible organ filled with sexual and creative power. Every single human being that's ever lived on this planet, now throughout history, has achieved this existence to our sacred area, our womb. Thus, we have all been intimately equated with the uterus since the dawn of our times. So history showing you it's just not right. So you have to listen. The uterus is super strong. It's the strongest muscle in the body by weight. It has multiple layers of tissue that runs every direction. The uterus is flexible. The uterus heals. Our cycle has, rich stem cells, which are found to be adapted within the body to heal a variety of diseases. We are walking and talking healers. There's power. During each of my month in my fertile years, a woman's body creates a rich endometrial layer. When the baby's not conceived, the body releases this extremely valuable nutritious substance. The abundance of stem cells in our cycle are being researched to treat a variety of conditions from stroke, heart disease, Parkinson's, diabetes, wounds, neurological, neurological disorders, diseases, and more. Women create the most abundant free source of stem cells, which are more ethical to harvest than the cord from newborns or aborted fetuses. But this is great. The uterus is orgasmic. The uterus is connected to the universe. A woman's menstrual cycle and stages of life are intrinsically linked to the cycles of Earth, Moon, and Sun. The power of light. I'm going to say it again. A woman's menstrual cycle and the stages of life are intrinsically linked to the cycles of the earth, moon, and sun, all elements of light. Light is energy, light is power. The moon cycle is 29 days, and the average woman's cycle is 29 days. Women whose cycles are closest to 29 days have higher rates of fertility. In addition, there are 13 moon cycles in the calendar year, and the average age of menstruation, a girl's first period, is 13. The average age of menopause is 52, which is also the number of weeks in the calendar. There's an average age of 4 weeks to a woman's menstrual cycle and 4 seasons in a year. Women's ancient menstrual calendars, consisting of notches carved into bone or stone, are said to be some of the earliest form of calendars known. Women's wombs hold a powerful connection to the astronomical cycles of the earth, sun, and moon. We're connected to the heavenly bodies, to the lights. Are you guys listening? You have to make sure that womb is healed and protected. It's going to bring you good energy. It's going to bring you good vibrations. It's going to make your life successful. You want to lose weight? You got to heal inside first. You can't hate yourself to lose weight. You want money? You got to heal yourself first. You can't get depressed rich. There's no such thing as depression rich. If you're depressed, if you're frustrated, you got to heal. You got to heal. And that's what my program is about. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Because Black women never had this experience. We never talk about healing meditation and healing our inside sacred feminine energy. We never talk about healing our mental psyche and healing our broken subconsciousness, how to program our subconsciousness to be positive, to embrace these things. I'm going to tell you something personal. I posted something on my Enchantress page, and one of the young ladies was admiring something I posted. And she made a comment that, I don't think I can have that. It's beautiful. And that's the first broken shrine. That's the first sign that you are broken. When you're telling yourself you're not worth something that you want. I'm going to say it again. That's the first sign of a broken shrine. When you're telling yourself you can't have something that you want. It's completely wrong. All right? The uterus can grow a placenta. The uterus can grow a human. The universe within the uterus. So women can use the power of our wombs, not just to grow babies, but to tune into the creative potential of the universe, birth great ideas, businesses, projects, art, and more. The womb is a woman's unique connection to the primal source of creativity and can be used for not just procreation, but conscious co-creation with nature and spirit. Let's honor and celebrate the wonders of the womb and keep our uteruses healthy and loved. So I want to talk about that. That's what I'm talking about. How do we get there? How do we do it? That's what the laws of Enchantress is. I have a Facebook page. If you're interested in the material I'm talking about, click on it. Lots of stuff there. I'm actually preparing the 2 week course. And in the meantime, I want people to understand the elements in the course, talking about the crystals, talking about the sexual healing meditations, talking about affirmations, talking about subliminal affirmations, talking about brainwave entertainment and alpha waves and delta waves. We're talking about the law of attraction, how to use the law of attraction for your enchantress. We're talking about sensual energy, how do you use that to empower and revitalize your life and your health? Sexual energy, how do you use that to revitalize, empower your inner enchantress? How to allure and attract the people you want, not just the men. Yes, men too, in marriages and husbands and loving relationships, but also the friends, the networks, the businesses, the stuff you deserve. How to get to that vibration, stay at that vibration, get to that frequency, stay at that frequency. It's all about that. So let's go right here. So, you ever wonder why women get bad cramps and some women have miscarriages? The stress of neglecting your sacred feminine is dangerous. That's why some women die in childbirth. Women die in childbirth because of complications, but a lot of those complications come from stress. Stress from racism, stress from having bad relationships, stress of not being loved. Remember, when you give birth, you're asking the body to give a lot in energy and physical exertion. You ask for the body to give a lot in energy and physical aspects. You're asking the body for a lot. And if you haven't been nurturing yourself during your pregnancy, if you haven't been loving yourself and being loved and being adored, you're putting yourself at risk. Because mental health matters. Our sacred feminine inner core matters. This is from the U.S. National Library of Medicine and National Institutes of Health. You can't get more credible than that. And it talks about postpartum psychological distress has been widely studied for years, particularly with a focus on postpartum depression. So, symptoms of maternal depression, stress, and anxiety are not more common or severe after childbirth than pregnancy. So, people are having these depressions during pregnancy when the baby is getting a lot of nutrients and energy and feminine light from you. So, if your husband or your boyfriend or your family are stressing you, or they're not loving you, they're not worshiping you, they're not adoring you, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have postpartum. And postpartum doesn't start with the postpartum. It means you were having challenges and anxieties and a sense and loss of love. Your feminine central core was not nurtured. You were not worshiped. So this paper reviews the newer body of research aimed at identifying the effects of women's psychological distress on fetal behavior and child development and the biological pathways for this influence. These studies are in line with the growing body literature supporting the fetal origins hypothesis that prenatal environmental exposures, including maternal psychological state based on alterations in the utero, have sustained effects across the lifespan. Okay, so it's talking about things that are happening to you during or what affects the pregnancy, affects the mental, affects all of that. And you can read this. You can read this. This is, it talks what's going on. So when I say you need to be worshiped, especially when you're pregnant, you're taking the energy, you're forming a new life. You're taking literally, that's why you got to take prenatal vitamins because the baby drains your body of all the nutrients because it needs it. It's growing, it's building. So the same way your body is getting drained because of nutrients, your body gets drained from energy and love and affection. This is why a culture of worship has to be there before the baby comes. A culture of you being adored, a culture of you being loved and honored and cherished. You can't just start it when you get pregnant. You got to have that natural, healthy environment before you get pregnant. It has to be something you're used to. So you can read this. It's actually quite fascinating. You can read this. It talks about maternal distress to the fetus, psychologically. It talks about how the body, this is real shit. Look at the brain. The brain sends waves. Guys, you got to look at this. The brain, I hope you guys can see. I'm going to try to make it a little bit smaller. But the brain sends waves of negativity, unhappiness straight to your placenta. It affects your adrenal gland. It affects your cortisol, which makes you fat. Guys, women must be worshipped. We have so many things that go wrong when we're not worshipped. The cortisol gland causes weight. It causes obesity. It causes stress. The adrenal gland, again, something that controls other hormones. It can even trigger cancer. And then again, the pituitary gland that's down there, what is it, pituitary, whatever that gland is, but it affects the placenta. And that's your womb. Guys, this is serious. You have to be worshiped. You have to be adored. You have to be loved. You're healing. You got to heal from the inside. You're like, Connie, you keep saying it. What does that mean? It means that you got to take the law of the Enchantress course. It means you got to learn. You got to invest in you. Do you want love? Do you want happiness? Do you want joy? Do you want to be happy every single day of your life? Or at least try. Make that a goal to be your ultimate happy self. Jeez, it's you. That's what I'm living. I get up every morning and my goal is to be the most happiest Connie Walker every single day. And guess what? Every day gets happier and happier. Every day there's a reason for me to smile. I get up in the morning, I'm happy. I get up in the morning, I command my day. I keep attracting more and more better, 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 better. I keep attracting the best of the best into my life. And people ask me, how do you do it? Because I'm healed. I took the time to heal my broken womb. I took the time to heal my broken temple. I took the time to align my energies. I became a law of attraction coach. I became a law of attraction practitioner. I got certified by Hay House. I became obsessed with this thing. And for years and years, I didn't share it. When I would go to the meetings, when I would go to conferences, it would be only white people. And I said, you know what? One day, Black women will be open to this power. One day, and hopefully in my lifetime, I'll be able to see Black women taking full control of the art of the law of Enchantress. And I mean that. I see so many Black women trying to do better and they keep falling short. They're struggling. They're getting upset. They're getting frustrated. And it's not because they're trying to do too much. They're trying to do too little because it starts with you. And I'm going to keep saying that till you believe it. It truly starts with you. It really does. I'm going to go here. WebMD. Depression in women. All right. In the US, about 15 million people experience depression. The majority of them are women. I hope you guys are still here. Please listen to this whole video. I hope you guys are still here. Please listen to it. Why do you think women suffer from depression and don't get help? Why do you think? Look what it says. Depression in women is very common. Why? In fact, women are twice as likely to develop clinical depression. Up to 1 in 4 women is likely to have an episode of major depression in their life. Why? 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 Clinical depression is a serious and pervasive mood disorder. It causes feelings of sadness, hopelessness, helplessness, and worthlessness. Depression can be mild to moderate with symptoms of apathy, little appetite, difficulty sleeping, low self-esteem, and fatigue. So, and it talks about the symptoms of depression, okay? Persistent sad, loss of interest or pleasure, restlessness, irritability, excessive crying, feeling of guilt and worthlessness, sleeping too much or too little, appetite, weight loss, overeating, decreased energy, fatigue, slow down, thoughts of death, and this is suicide. This is really bad. So you're probably saying, what is going on? And they say, why is depression in women more common than depression in men? So some experts believe the increased chance of depression in women may be related to changes in hormones. The changes in are evident. So I don't believe that. I don't believe that because we all have hormones. We always did have hormones. Why this sudden rush of depression? You know why? Because our energies are out of line. Our energies, our mental health. These changes are evident during puberty, pregnancy, and menopause, as well as giving birth or experience a miscarriage, just like the one before. And no one can sit here and tell you that medically, being happy, being loved, being adored, being mentally balanced, that can prevent all of this and attract more positivity. But the more we try to rationalize, the more we try to deny, the more we're like, oh, it's not true. And it's not true. It's not true. The more we don't want to talk about external factors and interpersonal factors. Look what it says. In addition, women juggling work, women, raising kids, women who are single parents suffer more triggers of depression. What did you just see there? Women are becoming more and more masculine, and they're destroying their feminine energy. I'm going to say it. Juggling work, masculine. Raising kids, masculine. And when I say raising kids, I don't mean being a stay-at-home mom. I mean paying, taking care of, board and rent and clothing. Not baking cookies at Betty Crocker. Okay? Single parents suffer more. You have to look at this. You have to look at this. You know, loss of support systems or threat of a loss, jobs, you know, ongoing psychological and social stress, job, relationship, separation, divorce. It's crazy because some black women, they're dealing with that all at the same time. You're dealing with shit from your relationship, you're dealing with shit from your job, you don't got support from your family, and then you're trying so hard to better your life, and you gotta fix inside, or you're gonna keep attracting and vibrating at these low, dangerous frequencies. Once you step away, you gotta heal yourself before you want anything else, before you desire you got to heal yourself. And most of us don't do it. Shit, most of us don't get treatment for depression at all. You got to heal yourself. You can't heal yourself with pain. You can't heal yourself with anger. You can't heal yourself with destruction. You can't heal yourself with being livid. You can't heal yourself with revenge. You can't heal yourself with bad karma. All you're going to do is do more and more self damage. But I'm here. That's why we made the law of Enchantress. That's why I hired 6 people, sex coach and sex therapists and light workers, people that know how to heal your beautiful, feminine inside core. And like I said, you got to make a choice. You got to make a choice. Do you want love? Do you want marriage? Do you want to stop being shamed for wanting what your womanhood craves? Do you want to stop being shamed because you want to wake up every morning with someone who loves you? Do you want people to stop telling you what you can't have and stop telling you the bad things that's going to happen to you? Oh, if you get a man, he's going to leave you. If you get a man, he's going to cheat on you. All men cheat. Yeah, their men cheat because that's what they attract. You are attracting what you believe you can have. And I'm telling you from experience, there are men on this planet talking about worshiping women, adoring women, crazy about giving women more and more. Even Patty, who is the world's top matchmaker. I'm so glad that I found those articles. She talked about men, you don't have to ask them for anything. If you are the right woman with the right energy and the right frequency, of course they love beauty, but there's plenty of beautiful girls who get played. I know plenty of girls, 00, size 2, big boobs, nice round booty, and they get played. They can't keep a man. It's like they're on fire, and that man's like a piece of paper, and he running away. It's you gotta start from the inside. I know women who are basic, don't get nothing done, basic, but they are so grounded. They do their meditations, they do their yoga, they eat well, they work, they exercise, they love their body, they worship their body is their temple, they pray, they have faith, they're spiritual from their feminine sacred desires. And guess what? They have beautiful lives, but they're very quiet. Happy people are quiet. Remember, happy people are quiet. I'm very happy. And I've noticed that I got kind of quiet. I kind of drew back from my websites. I kind of got back into because when you're in love, you're vibrating at the most powerful frequency on the planet. That's why a mother's love is no joke. A mom's love is no joke. We all know that. But what happens when you are loved in that same effect? What happens when a man surrenders to you? What happens when you are worshiped? Because black women need to be worshiped. You need to be worshiped. What happens? So let's go to these last three things here. Okay? 8 reasons why men should worship goddesses. So this is another, it's called the Good Men Project. The conversation no one's having. You guys got to look at these things. You got to look at the men who are doing and saying the right thing. You got to remember, this is not drama. This is not going to be like, oh my God, did you see that girl? It's not going to get you hype. It's meant to bring you peace and love and happiness. And I've been telling you guys, when you finish a conversation, how does your soul feel? When you finish a conversation, it's not about me, it's about you. How do you feel? Do you feel hopeful? Do you feel high? Do you feel happy? Do you feel cared? Do you feel nurtured? Forget about what people are saying. Think about how people are making you feel. Start with your energies. We're emotional beings. We're all about feeling. How many times does your man ask you, baby, you mad? No, I'm not mad. And really, and it's funny because guys make jokes and make memes about it because they're trying to listen to us, and that's not going to work. I'm a woman telling you that's not going to work. I'm not mad. I'm fine. We've all done that game. But if he paid one attention, if he was aligned, if he was healed, if his foundation was solid, he would know. First of all, don't ask that question. You shouldn't have to ask if your partner's okay. Look at her, feel her, vibration, frequency. You can just look at your partner. I can tell when someone's not feeling well, even strangers on the train, the bus. If the person you're sleeping with and making love to doesn't know by looking at your body language if you're okay, you got a pretty challenging road there ahead of you. So let's just take a look at this real quick. All right. So he says, I'm assuming that most of my fellow brothers reading this are card carrying goddess worshippers. Oh, sorry, are not card carrying, sorry, goddess worshippers. Perhaps you never even considered the concept, right? So he's introducing this to men, and it's true. He's talking about it's not their secular scientific Western worldview. And he's talking about worshiping the beautiful woman, worshiping the goddess, and saying when women are loved, goddesses are hot. They're beautiful, they're sacred, and their femininity makes them 10 times more attractive. So you give and you get, you give what you get. All right. Goddess worshipers are sexy, so you want to make sure that you are exuding femininity. You are exuding a sacred allure. But again, you can't get there on the broken temple. I'm going to keep talking about that broken temple in a minute. You know, like it or not, you're part goddess. He's saying that everyone came from a woman. So a woman should be something as worshipped, you know. And when I say worship, okay, when I say worship, I don't mean some psycho, you're treating him bad, you're walking all over him, because that means you're not ready. A goddess is able to receive love, and a goddess is able to give it back tenfold. Anytime you give something to a real woman, she takes it back. You give her a house, she makes it a home. You give her sex, she makes you a son. You give her money, she'll run your house, she'll do what you. Women, it's a yin and a yang. Men are not superior, women are not superior. We're meant to complement each other. And there's just too much noise out there, and you're not going to be successful. You deserve to be worshiped and loved. And trust me, the right man, when he realizes, when he becomes aligned, he's going to say, wow, holy crap. I can't wait to get home. My goddess is waiting. I can't wait to get home. My goddess is there. And what's crazy is that I'm back to Patty. All right. For all y'all be like, who's this? Patty's the millionaire matchmaker. And she talks about masculinity and femininity a lot. I didn't know she did. All right. So she's number one, number one, number one in the world. Like, you can't come close to her. It's unquestionable. So she talks about, you know, about leaving your masculinity outside. You really want someone who has ambition. He can pay the bills, he has good credit. He might be a multimillionaire with a private jet, but you two can become a power couple together. Turn your alpha off at home. She's telling the ladies, turn your alpha off. If you want to be with a strong alpha, you have to become the sweet, sensitive, and caring beta. Otherwise, he's going to think, I can't compete in the boardroom and the bedroom. Now, if you don't like what she's saying, I don't know what to say because to me, her advice is golden. No one tops her. She's dealing with creme de la creme. She's dealing with all types of men. She's a third generation matchmaker. This is something she does. She got a TV show. She's amazing. You guys know I do all my reference checks. So if you watch my other video, I actually talk about her a lot and I actually went through her entire resume. So you can look her up on YouTube. So someone says back to her, but what about women for who the feminine domestic side? And you see what they did. They attached domestic. So that's what's wrong with this society. She didn't say anything about domestic. She didn't say that. She said your feminine, sweet, and caring side. And right away, modern society tries to make femininity in that sense negative. And that's why so many of us, especially Black women, have so much unique challenges healing ourselves, getting our temple, vibrating, commanding that feminine energy. Because if you think being feminine is weak, if you think being vulnerable is weak, how are you supposed to trigger a man's need to protect if you're a man yourself? How you if you're never vulnerable? These are natural DNAs that are encoded into the male psyche, into the male body. He can't overcome it. But if you don't trigger it, it's just not going to happen. All right. So Stanger says you have to practice. For those who can't turn it off at home and are screaming and yelling at their husbands about paying bills and fixing things and being domineering and micromanaging at home like you're at work, you will lose your man. Again, she's talking about masculine and feminine energy. This doesn't always come naturally, especially when women are doing it all. We have essentially two jobs now. He comes home from work and wants a beer and wants to watch the game. The woman is asking, aren't you going to help with dinner? That's the problem. He only has one speed. So that's the problem is that we don't recognize that working at home is being a stay-at-home person. It's on a vacation. Why don't you try to hire a nanny? Try to hire a personal chef. Try to hire a personal shopper. Try to hire somebody to do your laundry and your dry cleaning. Try to hire somebody to chauffeur your kids around. Try to hire a personal tutor. Try to hire a living nanny, a living maid, a living butler. You will go broke. And I've stayed with friends that, oh, Connie, can you watch my kids for the weekend? I was dying for that weekend to go over. I had no time to myself. I had to wash them. I had to dress them. I had to comb their hair. I had to take them to the park. I had to feed them. And I had to make sure they ate what I gave them because sometimes they were so picky. I had to do all of this. And I said, how can people say women who stay at home don't work? I was counting down the hours till that weekend was over and never again will I babysit. That was it. Even if you paid me, I don't know, son. It was just not for me. But I said I had to clean, I had to vacuum, I had to prepare food, I had to go to the supermarket, I had to take him to the park, take him to the game, take him to the movies. I don't understand. I had to cook, I had to clean. I don't understand how people can look at this lifestyle and say, oh, she's not working, she's a stay-at-home mom. I don't think I stayed home between the movies and the aquarium and the zoo and the park and the grocery store and running the errands, and that was just the weekend. I wasn't chilling at home. I was chilling all over the place, you know? And I don't even think I had time for me. So, we have to get the balance back. There are men who want peace and love. There are men who want to come home and they want to worship their wife, and the wife wants to give back that love tenfold. It's almost hard to put into words what a woman can give back to you when she's loved properly. She becomes 10 times the woman, and the Black woman needs to be worshipped. And you're not going to get there with negativity. You're not going to get there holding on to anger. You're not going to get there where every 5 minutes you're attracted to drama, 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 drama. Every 5 minutes, you keep attracting situations that you know are going to make you upset, that you know are going to make you feel negative, that you know are going to get you to be not happy. Like, it's just so addictive. And I get it. What I'm talking about here, it's not the jump off, but it could bring you the happiest moments in your life. So the guy asked her, so how do you navigate marriage when both people are working, but she really has two jobs and he's only up for one? So she says this: a friend of mine who is a sociologist has in her home list has in her home two lists, a pink list and a blue list. Taking out the garbage is the blue list, and making dinner. Make a schedule and stay on that side of the street. If he can't pull his weight, you're going to get rid of him anyway. Otherwise, you become his mother. You become his mother and your legs close. He needs to do these tasks in the home to get his reward. Are you using sex as a reward to just women actually turn down when a man? Both. When he did his manly task without you having to say a word, you automatically do everything anyway. But if he took out the garbage cans to the end of the street, cleaned the garage, or walked the dogs without having to ask, you're going to get turned on because he makes you feel easier. Your life is easier. So that's what I'm saying. It's a yin and a yang. What she explained there was him being masculine and doing masculine things. You don't want to emasculate your man and ask him to do things that typically aren't really masculine. You're disrupting the energy. And you really got to get people out of your marriage, out of your relationships, out of your head, whose main goal is that happiness, peace, and love. You got some people that's not their goal. When you take advice from anything or anyone, see what's the goal. I'm trying to tell you about love, being happy every day, having the love of your life, being married, having the husband of your dreams, having entrepreneurial freedom, economic freedom, financial freedom. I'm trying to tell you about the joys that you can have no matter what, no matter freaking what. But then you're going to have some people, you take advice from them, and their goal is for you to be alone. Their goal is for you to build an island and wave to a boat. Their goal is not true bliss. And then you wonder why you can't have it. Don't get mad about not having the dream you want when you don't want to talk about the dream. You're not about the dream, you're not about that life. Don't get bad when you don't want to even talk about the happiness and the joys of love when you don't believe in it. People aren't accessories. People aren't complements to a chair and a sofa. People are living, breathing vessels of energy. Some have good energy, some have bad energy. Some are aware of their energy and know how to master it. And some people aren't aware of their energy and have no idea what they're doing. They just do what feels good in the moment. And those could be energy vampires. You got to decide. If you're interested, look at the description box. Please like and subscribe. Like and subscribe to this page. There's going to be more to come. And that 3-day course is coming up. And I strongly suggest every Black woman that hears my voice, you're hearing this, it's going to be life changing. I've never done anything like this in my life. If you would have asked me a couple of months ago, I would have laughed at you. Because first of all, this intimate knowledge, I didn't think Black women were ready, because you seem to be very practical. You seem to be, I got to read it, fine print 10 times over. But there's a shift. There's been an emotional shift. I've been seeing magical things happen with Black women for the past couple of months. Magical changes, miracles. I've been seeing a hunger. People are breaking away. They don't want the same. They want different. They want their dreams. One life to live. One life to live. So thank you guys for listening. I'm really happy that you guys are here. This is a last link, and it talks about love is the most powerful force in the world. Love is the most powerful force. It's a healer. It's the highest frequency. It can help you get money. It can help you get jobs. It can help you cure. It can get health. So it's all there. So thank you guys for listening.